Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mr. Sherman's Guide to American Soccer, where we will be discussing all of the professional divisions and which teams to like and not like so much. You want to know why? Because I said so. And because you heard it here first. Anyways, enjoy. Now, for the case of this video, we're going to be discussing all of the men's professional leagues. However, I know it is March, I know that it is Women's History Month. If you guys really want, and you really beg me in the comments, I will make one about the women's soccer pyramid. And you know what? That's okay. That just means I get to make a video flexing Tormenta's USLW League title. In 2023, number one, the most well-known and the oldest division of professional US soccer is the MLS. Everybody knows the league. I know we're made fun of in Europe, but it's still a pretty decent league. And we have 29 teams. We have to split it because we have to make a Western and an Eastern conference like most US sports because we're a lot bigger than England or Spain or France. So obviously we just have to split it. Now, just a quick thing to note is that in 2023, we have a new team that just got added to the MLS, which is St. Louis FC. Obviously, it's a big move. Last season, we had Charlotte FC added to the MLS, and it wasn't their best season, but it's a new team. And so far, it appears that goals have just been, handed to them.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
But nevertheless, they're here, and we'll see how they do. Now, one tier down the pyramid, and we get the USL Championship, the second tier of the United States Soccer League system. Now, the USL Championship has been a league for quite a long time, and it is also divided between two conferences. One thing to note as a difference is that the USL Championship is a little bit smaller than the MLS, with 24 teams instead of 29. And another difference with a ton of other pyramids from all around the world is that there is no promotion in relegation. So you couldn't buy a club in a super low tier, keep getting them promoted. It just doesn't work like that. However, if you do earn it, you can apply for a license so that way you can go into a higher league. For example, Orlando City did this to go from the USL Championship to the MLS in 2014, I believe. And another thing is that you can self-relegate. Yes, you heard me, self-relegate. Some clubs that have done this are Charlotte Independence and Richmond Kickers, who both went from the USL Championship down to the USL League One. The reasons why these two teams did this are very different. For Richmond Kickers, it was because they had done quite poorly in the USL Championship, not getting very good results after 2 seasons in a row in almost dead last. And for Charlotte, they did this to give more room to their new MLS expansion team, Charlotte FC. Now we go into the third tier. Now this is where things get a little bit weird, where we have 3 different leagues in the third division, those being MLS Next Pro, NISA, and USL League One. Now, I always liked looking at the US soccer pyramid as the English one with the top 4 leagues. I like looking at it as the Premier Division, Premier League, or MLS for our case, the Championship, League One, and League Two. And they all have the same exact color scheme. But let's not focus on that. However, you can't really look at it the same way as the tiers get more unofficial with the 3rd division and 4th division and 5th division, and it's not as organized, and obviously it doesn't necessarily have to be because there is no promotion and relegation. Obviously this is going to be a lot different because these English lower leagues are going to be a lot different from their English counterparts. For example, the MLS is comparable to the EFL Championship, the 2nd division in England. This makes sense when it comes to players' salaries and how much a club is worth. For example, this is a USL League 2 stadium. And this is an EFL League 2 stadium. A very big difference. So now with the 3 different leagues, there's MLS Next Pro, which consists of 27 teams with 2 conferences. Now MLS Next Pro just basically consists of the reserve teams of all of the MLS clubs. They just name them like Toronto FC 2, Atlanta United 2, whatever it is. It gets very boring. However, props to Charlotte FC with Crown Legacy FC. That's a pretty cool name, yeah, honestly. Then there is the NISA, the National Independent Soccer Association, which has 9 teams. It's just an independent soccer league, not really affiliated with anything else. And I haven't done a lot of research on it, but I mean, it's a pretty small league, and yeah. Next up, we have the USL League One. Obviously, you guys know I love to flex Tormenta success. We won it last season. South Georgia Tormenta won it. And it's just a really, really great league. There are 12 teams. It's not split between any conferences or groups. It's nice and simple. So it is a pretty nice league. It's got, some teams. And if you do want to learn more about Georgia Tormenta's success, you should for real check out my video. Please do so. Okay, I put a lot of effort into that, and it's one of my least watched videos, and I really appreciate it if you just checked it out a little bit, or don't, that's okay, but at least just finish this video. But either way, USL League One, really, really, really nice league. Obviously it's not as great since the third tier isn't as defined, but that's okay. Also in 2023, the season has just started, and 2 new teams have been added to the league, one Knoxville and Lexington. So maybe they'll be having a really, really, really good season. Next up, we have the semi-professional and amateur leagues. Now, these consist in the 4th division, we have the USL League 2 with 120 clubs, 4 conferences, and 18 divisions. The NPSL with 92 clubs, 4 regions, and 14 conferences. The UPSL with 250 plus clubs, 4 regions, and 30 divisions. The USASA Elite Amateur Leagues with 15 state and regional leagues. The NISA Nation with 20 clubs in 4 regions, and then at the bottom there is the United States Adult Soccer Association with 55 state associations in 4 regions, and there are many, 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 many different regions and their leagues and divisions. All of these leagues are 5th division, 6th division, and 7th division, and then it gets really, really, really disorganized. Now I will be moving on to who I will be rooting for. In the USL League 1 and the USL League 2, I will be rooting for Tormenta FC and their reserves. I really, really just adore the club. They've been great. They even won USL League 1 last season. I mentioned that before, and I will mention it again. Don't worry. And the reserves aren't too bad either. USL League 2 is a weird division, but I really hope that they do really, really well. Next up in the USL Championship, you might think, oh, you're going to root for Atlanta United too. Well, no. You might think, oh, look, there's the badge. The USL Championship badge on the Atlanta United 2 jersey. Well, Atlanta United 2, like most of the reserve clubs of the MLS, moved to MLS Next Pro, which I hate, and I really, really, really hate. I might even make a video on how much I hate that, because I hate that it's just a ton of reserve teams playing. They're not playing actual teams with culture, like Memphis 901 or FC Tulsa or whatever. They're not playing those teams. They're just playing like Toronto FC2 or, who are we playing? Oh, we're playing Orlando City 2. It's boring. It's just like a monopoly of these MLS Next reserves, and they just put them there. It's not anything cool. I love the championship. I love that the club actually had to compete and really do well. But no, now it's just like, oh yeah, you guys are just put in there. And I know it's for development, but I think that the players actually develop better in the championship than against just other reserve teams. And because of this, I'm switching my allegiance to Birmingham Legion FC. Hello, I'm coming to you, Birmingham. I really just do love the city, first off. I know I have some friends who live there. My sister even has a really good friend who lives there. And it's just a really, really nice city. And I love the club. And they have this really, really amazing player named Tyler Pasher. He used to play for Houston Dynamo. And he's just amazing. He's like if Messi played in the USL Championship, but if he wasn't like quite as successful. But he's still an amazing player. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, I live in the Atlanta area, if it's been made any obvious at all. I've talked about this before, I believe. But you obviously know I'm going to be rooting for Atlanta United in the MLS. I actually had the privilege of being invited to go watch the home opener, and it was just an amazing game. It was against San Jose Earthquakes. I even got a video of Thiago Almada's free kick winner in the last minute. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.